Most people don't realize these 3 hidden energy killers are draining their vibe. And I'm going to reveal in this video what these 3 energy killers are. And the first one is survival mode. Now, most people spend 70% of their time operating in survival mode. And so when you're in survival mode, this is what keeps you in the negative low frequencies, in the survival emotions, and this is what contracts your electromagnetic field. So you aren't able to create from a powerful place. When you're in survival, you are more matter and less energy. So because you're more matter and less energy, you can't influence atoms, which are the building blocks of reality. In other words, you aren't in a powerful position to create your dream life. And living in survival means you're living in chronic stress. And what happens is that it causes your brain and heart to function incoherently, and that knocks the body out of homeostasis. And when that happens, that is when disease and illness start showing up in your body. This is what makes people sick. And so we aren't designed to be spending our dominant amount of time in survival mode. Like, survival mode is important for when there's a perceived danger or threat so that your fight or flight response can kick in. But we aren't designed to spend our dominant amount of time operating in survival mode. And again, that's why our body, creates this disease and illness. And so the opposite of survival mode is creation. This is when you make your way up the scale of consciousness, you're operating in these higher frequencies, and this is when your electromagnetic field expands, and it can expand up to 9 meters wide. This is when you are powerful. You become more energy and less matter. And so because you're more energy, you are able to influence the building blocks of reality, which is atoms or energy. You're able to influence and manipulate energy. So in order to create your dream life, you've got to be in this state of creation. And so the other problem with survival mode is that it can actually become a habitual subconscious program. So what that means is that you just naturally live in survival mode every day because both your mind and body have memorized that state. So your body memorizes emotions. And so if you're operating in survival emotions every day, your body memorizes them. And then again, that becomes your natural state of being, and you're putting off this negative low energy or vibration, and that's why you're attracting back more negativity. So it comes down to practicing shifting yourself out of survival mode and into creation. And it also, what I would recommend is a daily practice where you go into meditation and you start training your body to memorize these positive emotions instead. It takes consistency and repetition to change those emotions that your body has memorized. But the key is just consistency. If you create this daily practice of shifting out of survival and into creation, and you're embodying these more positive emotions, over time, your body will naturally just memorize those emotions instead, and then it will become your natural state of being. And I'll share a couple of tips on how to shift yourself out of survival mode. So there's things you can do like deep belly breathing. Deep belly breathing activates the parasympathetic nervous system, which is the creation nervous system. So that's one way of shifting. Another way of shifting is, using practices like meditation. But most people will have this as a subconscious program. So you really got to, to shift out of it properly, you've got to do that daily work, being consistent, cultivating positive emotions in the body. And think of it as like training, like how someone goes to train for a sport that they play. You're training your body to memorize more positive emotions instead. And so it's about changing those subconscious programs. Right, now we're going to get into the second hidden secret that is keeping your vibration low. The second hidden energy killer is victim mindset. Now, if you believe you are a victim or you identify as a victim, what ends up happening is you attract victim circumstances. Now, this is because of law of attraction, like attracts like. If you believe you are a victim, you attract back situations where you're a victim. And so the victim mindset does not serve you. It only hinders you. And it is very easy to fall into that trap of playing the victim because our ego minds, like it's the ego that loves to play the victim and blame everyone else. And I used to be one of these people that would wallow in self-pity, feeling sorry for myself, until I realized that it wasn't serving me. And then I made a conscious choice to stop playing the victim. So when you're in victim mentality, this is what disempowers you, and you can't create an amazing life for yourself from a disempowered state. So as long as you play the victim, it's going to keep you in the negative low frequencies, and you're just going to keep attracting negative situations where you're a victim. So the first step is to make a conscious choice to stop playing the victim. The key is to, raise vibration so that you're in a more empowered state, so that you can create your dream life. The opposite of a victim is a creator. So victims look at reality as, oh, this is happening to me. I'm a poor little victim that has no control. But when you're operating as the creator from this empowered state, you look at reality like, I am the one that's creating everything. I take responsibility for what's going on in my life. And you, instead of looking at things like, oh, this is happening to me, you look at it like, this is happening for me, because you understand that whatever negative situation's going on in your life, when you're operating from this empowered creator, you understand that it is serving you in some type of way. So there's usually a lesson for you to learn in the negative experiences and the negative situations. So the key to going from disempowered, poor little victim into this empowered creator state is by taking accountability for everything going on in your life. Realize it's happening for you, not to you, because it's trying to show you something about yourself. It's trying to teach you something. So it's serving you in that type of way. And the key is just to look for the lesson. When you learn the lesson, that scenario, whatever it was that was happening, will stop playing out. If you don't learn the lesson, then you experience the same thing with different people. Like the same experiences just repeat until you learn. So again, make a conscious choice to not play a victim. Take accountability for everything going on in your life. And realize the negative stuff that's happening is serving you, it's trying to teach you, and just look for the lesson in it. And this will keep you in this empowered creator state, and this is how you are able to create a much better life for yourself. I hope that resonates. Now we're going to go into the last hidden energy killer. Now the third hidden energy killer is suppressed emotions. Now your vibration is naturally high. So it's not so much about trying to raise your vibration. It's more about letting go of the things that are pulling your vibration down into the lower frequencies. And I like to use a buoy analogy for this. So you imagine you have a buoy in the ocean and you push it under the water. As soon as you let that buoy go, it naturally raises back up to the surface. And so it's your suppressed emotions that are pulling your vibration down. Think of suppressed emotions as this ball and chain that's weighing you down. You imagine having this ball and chain attached to your leg, and you're trying to move forward in life, trying to get to where you want to go. Maybe become successful and wealthy and live a great life. Imagine how hard it is to try and get to where you want to go when you're dragging this ball and chain behind you. It's going to slow you down. It's going to keep you stuck. And the key is learning to release this ball and chain. Is learning to release your suppressed emotions. You imagine if that ball and chain was then taken off your leg, how much easier it is to move forward and get to where you want to go without all that extra weight. It's the suppressed emotions that are holding you back, that keeps you in the low frequencies. And I learned this from Dr. David Hawkins' book, Letting Go, and he used this pressure cooker analogy as well, which I thought was quite interesting. He basically says that because all of us, every single one of us has suppressed emotions that we have stored in our bodies. And so he says that basically people are like a pressure cooker because the suppressed emotions create this pressure inside, just like the steam building up in the pressure cooker. Eventually, that steam needs to be let out of the pressure cooker. So it's the same idea. Like your suppressed emotions causes this pressure. Eventually, you're going to need to release out some of that steam. And so what happens is the mind will look for a reason in the external environment to release that steam. So an example of this is someone overreacting. Have you ever noticed someone overreacting and you're like, whoa, why are they overreacting? It's not that big of a deal. It's not what happened in the moment. It's the pressure caused by the suppressed emotions that cause the overreaction. And so again, as long as you have these suppressed emotions, it's going to disempower you. It's going to keep you in these negative low frequencies, contract your electromagnetic field. And so the key is learning how to release the suppressed emotions, release that ball and chain. And it's actually really easy to do. And I'll teach you in this video how to do it. So again, I learned this from Dr. David Hawkins' book, Letting Go, where he teaches the letting go technique, which is a simple but effective technique for releasing the suppressed emotions so that you can start making your way up his scale of consciousness. It was Dr. David Hawkins that also calibrated this scale. And he even says the letting go technique is the key to enlightenment. It's the key to making your way up. It basically will, like over time, if you practice the technique, practice releasing suppressed emotions over time, because there's a lot in our bodies, it over time will emotionally free you and energetically free you, and it will permanently shift your vibration or raise your vibration up that scale. So what the technique is just when you have a negative emotion, like say something's triggered you, you got the negative emotion that's come up, instead of resisting it, which we resist it by either suppressing it, expressing it. So even when you express an emotion, you're still suppressing it in the body. And escapism, which is, using the outer environment to distract yourself from those emotions. Instead of resisting like that, you just accept the negative emotion. You accept it without judgment or without needing to fix it. Like it's okay to feel this emotion. And then you just allow it to be there as long as it needs to be there. Just sit with it, be present, allow it to be there. And then just observe the emotion in the body, observe the physical sensations, and just let it be. And by doing this, you're allowing the emotion to run its course, and then it just clears itself out. And you'll know you've successfully cleared an emotion out because you'll literally feel it release. You'll feel lighter and more uplifted, and it'll be gone. You'll be like, oh, I feel better now. It's gone. So that's the technique. It's as simple as that. Accept the emotion, allow it to be there, observe it, release it. So those are the 3 hidden energy killers that are keeping you in these low vibrations. If you got value out of the video, let me know by smashing the like button or write a comment. If you like this sort of content, raising vibration, inner work, shadow work, healing, psychology, quantum physics, all of that good stuff, then make sure you subscribe, hit that bell notification. Have an awesome day. Peace.